we are live, which is good. Let's just find you all on my iPad. Okay, see a few people that are joining, lovely, which means we're live. Okay, let's make a start. Let's close some things up. Okay, we've got a few people on, which is lovely. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to my first live of the week, a new week. I'll be live hopefully 3 times this week, so Monday morning, Wednesday evening and Sunday evening, all being well. I'm hoping to do an unboxing as well. I've just had a lovely delivery come, so I'm hoping to do an unboxing. I might be able to do that tomorrow morning, so watch out for that. It's a gorgeous box full of lovely new things. Happy Monday, Denise. Lovely to have you with us this morning. Last night, thank you to everyone who joined me. I made some really lovely cards. I'm just going to grab them. They're on my desk over here. I made 2 very different cards. I made these 2 last night. They'll be on my blog later on today, but you can watch back live. And I've used the new Flowers of Friendship bundle, which I'm going to play with a little bit more this morning. Greetings from Canada. Thanks for joining us, Janice. Lovely to have you with us. You managed to we managed to get the time zone right, which is just great. So I'll make a start. I'll change my camera and we'll get started. I'm going to probably make 2 cards with you today with 2 different techniques, and we'll see how we get on. So bear with me. I'll just change my screen around for you all. Okay, lovely. So you should now be able to see my desk. It's quite messy around, but I've got a nice space to do some stamping. So these are the 2 products I'm going to use today. Flowers of Friendship. It's on page 78 of the annual catalogue, the new annual catalogue. We've nearly had it for a week, I can't believe. It's beautiful outline stamps, images of flowers and leaves, and then you've got some gorgeous sentiments. I'm absolutely in love with the font on these sentiments. I think they're really modern, and just really different to anything we've had before, so love those. And then you've got this gorgeous punch. Okay, this punch will cut out these images here, and of course these lovely leaves here, so that will cut out all 4, and we can also use it on its own as a punch to cut out our cardstock. So just to give you a little bit of an outline, this is what I created last night. So this is a very simple card design. I have used this main flower spray image here, and I've coloured it in with Stampin blends, namely the soft succulent colour, which is one of the new in colours, and fresh freesia, which is another one of our new in colours for the next 2 years. I love this sentiment. This is really sweet, and it really has a special place in my heart, because a lot of our cards, when I send cards or people ask me to make them, they always say, well, your cards are quite small, can you make me a bigger one? It's absolutely fine, of course I can do that. But actually, although it might be a little card, there's a massive message behind it, and there's a big amount of effort that goes into making our cards, and I think that sentiment is just perfect for our sort of cards. And then here I have a different technique. I've cased this technique from the lovely Jo Blackman, a very talented demonstrator here in the UK. She's amazing with colour. I really admire her. And I have actually coloured that in. The cardstock is crumb cake, and I've coloured the cardstock with our watercolour pencils and a really sweet watercolour technique. So if you want to see how I made that, go back and have a look at the replay from last night. And then I've added some nice ribbon and then a heat embossed sentiment on black. Okay, really like that design. Very different for me. I'm typically a colourer with Stampin blends, so it's nice to step outside of my comfort zone every now and again. But obviously these 2 cards that I made weren't using the punch, so I promised you all today I would use the punch, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to pop those to one side, okay, and we will do a little bit of stamping to kick off our Monday morning session. So let's just start with these flower stamps. So some of them are already on blocks because I used them last night to show you something. Let's have the leaves. Okay, I I've taken some of my blocks in to have their next wash, but let's put these on here. Okay, so there is a way that you can line this up, so let's try this, shall we? Now I've seen a demonstrator do this, so we need a big block for that. Where is my big block? I had it earlier, here it is, over here. We used it last night. Okay, so to punch these out, now this is my understanding of how this works. Okay, so we can, let's put that under the block, shall we? See if we can work this out. And this is so that we can punch this out. Okay, so that is lined up like so. We're then going to line this one up over here. And there is a special way to line this up. So you might not be able to do it. Oh no, that looks pretty okay. Actually it doesn't. I think I'm going to play around with that technique. Let's just do what I would normally do. Okay, I've seen that done before, but I'm clearly not that clever. So let's do some stamping. Let's stamp these out. And let's line this up. Now I don't always use punches. For those of you that follow me quite closely, I am very much a fussy cut girl. Give me my scissors over a punch any day. But we're going to try and use this punch. So it's really easy to line up. It's easier if you line up the stamp in the paper face down and then, oh, of course it is. Yes, well done, Roshni. Okay. See, call me a demonstrator. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'll have to play around with that technique. Just pop that out. We're getting a lot of wasted leaves, but I'm not going to waste them. I'm going to put them to one side. Okay, and I'll show you a little technique with that. And then let's stamp some of these smaller ones. Okay, so the smaller ones are more tricky. So the easiest way to do that is to cut yourself a little strip of card. Now you'll notice I'm using my old trimmer. I misplaced the scoring blade on my trimmer at my small trimmer, my new trimmer at the weekend. I've since found it, but it's indoors. Okay, so now we can really line that up quite nicely. So keep the leaves. We want the stamp. Really enjoying this punch, aren't I? I could have fussy cut all of these by now. Okay, let's wiggle that round. Let's have 3 of each, shall we? So I've got 3 of each flower now, and I've got some leaves. So let's just pull those leaves back. And they look a bit like feet, these leaves, to me. They look like flippers. Right, so let's have some colour, shall we? What colour should we go for? Let's have some pinks in our life. So let's have the new polished pink. And we'll have a bit of flirty flamingo. And let's have some granny apple green. So I'm going to go super bright this morning. Love those 3 colours together. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little bit of polished pink. And I'm using the lighter shade. Just going over that now. And I'm just pulling that colour along the leaf. Okay. And I think this stamp set is going to be the theme of my next Stampin' Blend Club for May, which I'll release later on this week. And the idea behind a Stampin' Blend Club is that I get to choose some Stampin' Blend colours and a stamp set, and then I will show you some different techniques with that stamp set and how to colour, and then you get to build up your Stampin' Blend collection, which is always a nice thing. Oh, let's do this one as well. Okay, so I'm just pulling that colour, putting the darker shade on over the top, about 2/3 away along that leaf, or petal even. Okay, so I've gone with the Flirty Flamingo light first, and now I'm going in with the dark. Like that. Morning Wendy, thanks for joining us this morning. And now I'm going to go over with the light just between the lines. So I'm overlapping this light between where that dark ends and where it meets that light. And it's just doing what they're intended to do. They're blending those two colours together. Okay. And that's why we have two shades of the blends, so that you get a really nice look to your colouring. Okay, I do prefer to use the fine tip end for most of my colouring. I feel like you just get a little bit more control, or it's just my style. There's no right or wrong. You will get used to colouring the way you want and the way you feel comfortable. Now I'm going to use the colour lifter, and I'm just going to go around the edge of those leaves, just taking out some of that colour. And this is a new technique that I'm quite into at the moment, and it's just making the edges of your stamping just a little bit lighter. Okay, so now let's hold those up and you can see how they look. I think they look really pretty. Let me know what you think. The centre of those flowers, we're just going to colour in with a light yellow, I think. Let's go with some light So Saffron. Okay, yeah, nice. That looks good. Okay, so we've got 3 little flowers to start with, and now let's use these ones here. Okay, so this is the new pink. This is light polished pink. So this is the light shade. So it's still very bright. So I'm going to take that light colour towards the edge of those leaves, like so. And I haven't actually thought about my card design beyond colouring in the flowers. So it'll be interesting to see what our finished card looks like, because I don't know right now. Okay. So now we've got the dark, and I'm going to use the fine tip actually. And I want to add that dark colour to that middle part of the petal. Like so. So 2 very, very different pinks. But I do like this effect, okay? And now I'm going to use the colour lifter just on the edge of those leaves. To just blend those colours in nicely. Okay. Like so. Okay, so we've got 3 very different, 2 different sets of flower. Okay. And now with the leaves, I'm just quite literally going to colour them, because I want the leaves to feel a bit different. Okay. don't necessarily want that stamping on them. Okay. So this is a great way to use up those pieces as they come out of the punch. Okay. And a great way for less waste. Okay, so we've got our little leaves now. Right, so let's start to put this card together. So let's just move these stamps out of the way, and we want a card, don't we? We want a card base. Okay, so our first card base, and I'm just going to cut both of them. So I'm going to score it first at 10.5 centimetres, like so, turn it round, and then cut them at 14.9 centimetres. Okay. I then want a little bit, is that a thin or thick? I still really don't know with this card. Let's have a new piece. I really must tidy up today. My studio is looking like a real mess because this weekend I've had my launch party for the new catalogue. So I'm just cutting 2 strips that are 9.5 centimetres each. I've had my launch party for the new catalogue and it's just a mess. Okay, we want 13.9 and we want 2 pieces for each card because we want one for the outside and we want one for the inside. So I like them to be symmetrical. Okay, there we have it. Now let's have this. So we have these that go onto our card like so. We want one for the outside and one for the inside. Okay, so like so, and then we've got our lovely flowers. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of die cutting. So let's have, oh, let's use something new, shall we? Let's use these. These are beautiful. I love this. So these are the new tailor-made tag dies. Okay, and they are so useful and they will look fab with this. I want to use that with a sentiment, I think. That one or that one? Let's go for the bigger one because then we've got room to add our what am I trying to say? We've got room to add our flowers around it. Okay, so I'm just going to die cut one of these, and my die machine is just behind me. So these are new as well. These are just in the die section of the annual catalogue. There's a few sets of dies this year that don't come as a bundle, and this is one of them. Okay, or at least I don't think they do, not that I've seen. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this with a little bit of memento, and look at the detail on that die cut. You've got that gorgeous edge and then you've got that lovely stitching. So let's stamp this in the centre. Okay, and that's really wonky. Let's stamp that again. It's not going to be my day today, girls, is it? I really don't think it is. But hey, it shows that I am human. Okay, let's stamp that again. This is probably a better way to do it. So let's stamp that there. Okay, let's line up our die so we get that nice and straight. Stick a bit of washi tape on. Like so, and then let's run it through the die machine again. Might be a long one today, everyone. This is how it's going to go. Okay, so we've got this lovely little die piece. Let's peel off that washi tape really gently. Okay, so we are starting to bring our card together now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just shape these slightly, and how I'm going to do that, I'm going to use my Tombow to just pop it in the palm of my hand, push the lid against, and then you get a really nice shape. Okay, so I'm just using what I've got on my desk. Okay, like so, and like so. Let me have it. I love this technique. I think it's really pretty. Right, so now let's start thinking about our card. Now I'm going to use some of this. Now this paper here is really, really special. This is a new host set, and it is a whopper of a pack of designer series paper. You get 48 sheets in the pack, and they are 12 by 12 in size, and you have these gorgeous patterns, bright patterns on one side. Look at them all. They're just absolutely stunning. I adore every single pattern. And then on the back, because of course they're double-sided, they are all monochrome, and I just think they are so, so special. Okay, so I'm going to use some of this today. I think I'm going to use this one because I want my card to be quite plain, but this DSP is just perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my trimmer in and we'll cut a little piece of this. I am going to have just a little strip that is 3 centimetres wide. Okay, and I'm going to cut that down so that it's 10.5 centimetres. Okay, so we've got 3 centimetres by 10.5. And I'm going to use this just on my card like so. Okay, and then that piece is just going to sit behind, so we won't see. Oh no, let's not do that. Let's put that piece on first. Stick this piece down nice and flat. That's my dodgy Tombow from last night. Like so. So we're doing some lovely white on white, which always looks really elegant, I think. Okay, and then we're going to stick our piece of designer series paper on, but I might want, oh, I like that. I think that's really nice. I might want to use some twine on there. Do I want to use some twine? I do, but the colour I want to use I don't have. I don't have black at the moment. Let's use this. This is really sweet. This lovely pink. So this is from the Snail Mail suite. So let's tie this around a couple of times. And baby pink with black and white always looks really nice. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this around a few times. Trim off the end. And then before we put this on our card, I'm just going to pull that tight so that it's in the middle. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that down with a block, and then using a bit of washi tape, because no one is going to see this, and washi tape is super useful. Just pop that down, and then we can add this to our card now with some dimensionals, just to raise it that little bit. Who'd have thought for just a simple card this much would be involved? Okay, let's put one in the centre as well. So we can hold on to that. And I find it easier to tie a bow with things stuck down. So now let's pop that across the centre of our card. I like this. And then we can pop on our little tag. Okay, so for the tag I'm going to put some dimensionals at the bottom and at the top. Like so. Okay, we can then bring our twine along and tie it in a nice bow. Like so. Trim off the little tails so they are roughly the same length. That's it. Okay, and we've got our little bow there. Now we can start putting on our flowers, and I think this is where the card is just going to come to life. Okay, so I'm going to pop some of these over here, and you could use glue dots, you could use anything really. I'm going to use some Tombow. Tombow is my favourite type of glue. I think it just does whatever you need it to. Okay, just going to pop these flowers on and around. I think that's really pretty, and then we'll put a couple down here. Shall we? Yeah, or should we have them all down one side? Now let's have some this side. And then we can pop our leaves on. Now remember, I didn't stamp the leaves, I've just coloured them, and I think I quite like this. I'm stuck now. Come out. Okay, so with the leaves, I'm just going to pop them in, and I'm just choosing one for each flower, and I'm just sliding them in until they touch that glue that's underneath. Okay. These ones will be a little bit different because I've got stuck to the tag. So let's just have one in there, and we'll have one in here, I think. I really like that card. I love how delicate that card is. Let's have some gems on there as well, because you can't beat a gem. And over here I have some champagne rhinestones, which are just lovely. You can buy the normal rhinestones, or you can buy these champagne ones. Don't forget that you can colour the normal ones with your blends. And this is how I like to open mine, because I like to keep them all in their little packets. And I tend to find the glue gets a bit dry after a while, so I'm just going to pour that out, and let's add. I love opening a new pack of gems. I'll just add some of these, and these are a lovely colour. They look fab with the pink. Okay. Let's have 4 on here. Let's have one of those up there on the edge. Now what you could do by all means is you could add a little bit of ribbon or twine to there, but I don't want to have too much ribbon on it. So that is the front of my card. We've got our centerpiece here, which is quite plain, and I'm going to stick this in. Oops. Like so. And then I have this little piece of DSP left over, which I'm actually going to tear. Okay, and I'm going to pop that in about there. And this is all me being quite, what am I doing? None of this is planned. And then we can put the last 2 of our flowers in. Morning to you, Sophie. Hope you had a lovely weekend. And then we can put these 2 just in to just use up those last 2 flowers, not forgetting we've got a leaf left as well. So let's put that little leaf in there. And here's where you could add a thank you sentiment, or you could add a happy birthday, or you could just leave it blank for your message. So there we have our first finished card. I promised you I'd make 2 today, so I will still make 2. Do let me know what you think. I think that's really delicate, and I really like the colouring that I've done there as well. Okay, so we'll just move on to the next card. I did promise you two. So I'm going to use the same card base. Okay, and I'm going to just give it a little score, like so. And let's, oh, my mum's here, so the dog is now going bonkers in the garden because he gets very excited when his family comes. Right, so let's have a little clear down. So the next card I'm going to make, I'm going to use some coloured cardstock. So let's just grab some of that lovely new pink card. And let's grab the polished pink stamp set. Here we go. So I've got a polished pink stamp set and I've got a polished pink ink card. Lots of people saying very pretty. Thank you very much, everyone. So now let's stamp a couple of these, and this is the same coloured ink on the coloured card, same coloured card. So it's just tone on tone, which is something I absolutely adore about Stampin' Up. It's what first attracted me to Stampin' Up, and it just makes life so much more straightforward because you know that everything is going to match. Okay, and then we want some of those nice small ones. Oh no, that's the large one again. Just taking off that excess ink there. Let's see how we get on with this. I'm just going to have 3 for this card. And we're going to get a plain one for free. There we have it. So let's mount these two. Let's put these together. Now with these plain ones, you can double them up. Okay, now I think this is a really lovely technique. So I'm just going to pop some glue in the centre. So that back one is completely plain, no stamping on it, and my top one is the bit that's got the stamping. Okay, so there is one that's double, we have one single, let's have another double. So it's a different way that you can use the punch. Oh no, because that's the same, but what you can do is you can layer them round like so. So it's 3 different types of flower that you can get out of this, and obviously you've got the single one on its own. Okay, so let's start thinking about what we want to do with this card. So let's bring in that designer series paper again, and again I do love these 2 colours together. So a little bit of monochrome with some bright pink is never a bad thing. So I'm just going to cut this down so it's slightly smaller than our card front, and my measurement I typically use is 10 centimetres by 14.4. Okay, so we're going to stick that flat to our card. I do love this pattern. You can't go wrong with a bit of a dot, can you? Okay, so we've done that like so. Okay. Now I'm going to use another one of those tags, not that one obviously because it has got a little bit of wonky stamping on it. Let's just have a plain one. I'm just going to cut that out. This time we'll have some nice ribbon. We'll have this one. So this is the polished pink in colour ribbon that is available at the moment. Morning, Kate. Oh, it's lovely to you to join us. I hope you're okay. I hope the kitchen's not driving you too mad. Kate's just having a new kitchen fitted, and I hope it's not driving her too mad. Okay, so let's use this now. So I'm going to stick that down with some dimensionals, which are here. Like so. But this time we're going to use die. I love these dies because you get these lovely hole reinforcers. Okay, so let's cut some of these out, and you, on this one there are 4, so you can save them for another time, and I'm sticking with the monochrome theme. These remind me of school, of secondary school. When you do your homework, you'd stick it in your folder and then they'd break. The little holes where you're carrying all your work around, the holes would break and you'd have those little white reinforcers. And I think they are just fab. They just make these dies just even better. Okay, so we've done that now. Let's stick in a little bit of ribbon. And I'm going to be quite frugal with my ribbon. I'm just going to use a little piece. Okay. I'm just going to thread that through. I'm good. It's all coming on nicely. Lovely to hear your voice. And you, my dear. We've got Demonstrator Council this week as well. So I get to hear your voice. I'm glad it's all going well with the kitchen. How long will it take till it's finished, Kate? Okay. So here we go. And look at those colours. I love it. So we've got that like so. My mum's at the door, she's going to ask to come in. My mum's in my bubble, so we're okay. You can come in, but I'm still filming. Oh, right, okay. Come in and sit peacefully. Oh, don't fall in the door. Okay, so now I've got some grey twine. This is from the Handsomely Suited suite. So now I'm just going to tie that, bring that under, like so. And I'm going to tie this in a little bow. Come on then. So using these ribbons together, it's a lovely way of adding more texture to your cards. Can't tie a bow now. Couple more weeks yet. Worktops to come after templating this week. Takes 5 to 10 working days. Okay, it's going to look amazing when it's finished. I bet you can't wait. Okay, so let's just tie this little ribbon like so. So it's a lovely little way to add ribbon to your card with these tags. And then I'm going to add my little flowers over here. And the dog's happy now because his nanny's here. Where's the other one gone? There's my double one. There's my double one. Hello, Stacey's mum. Hello. She says hello. Kate Bolt.
Oh, hello, Kate.
So Kate is in my uplines team, and she's an amazing demonstrator and a lovely, lovely person. Okay. So let's just add these. Like so. Really like that, and of course wouldn't be a card without a little bit of heat embossing. I'm just turning my heat embossing on, heat tool on even. Now do I have black card here? It's over here. So now let's use the little, let's use thank you for everything, because then the sentiments kind of follow on. Always for your heat emboss, give your card a little bit of a wipe over with an embossing buddy or a tumble dryer sheet if you've got one. It just takes the static off of your card. It helps your embossing powder stick to just the Stampin as well. Stamp that. And then we want some embossing powder. Little tap, and then we can set that with a heat tool. Okay, there we have it. And then I'm going to cut this into a little plain banner. Like so. And we can stick that to our card. So quite a simple looking card, but there's quite a lot that's gone into it. I'm just going to move that out a bit. Thank you for everything. And I'm going to add a few little gems to the centre of those flowers to just bring it all together. Okay, do let me know what you think. It's always nice to have a little bit of feedback. Like so. And then for the inside of this card, I've got my extra piece here. Like so. And then I can add, let's just add another little flower and then we're done. Let's have a little one, shall we? So, and I'm going to layer that together. So I haven't used the leaves on this card. So let's just layer that one together and then we can pop that in the centre of our card. Like so. So there we have our second finished card of the day. So I have used the Flowering of Friendship stamp set and of course the matching punch. I can't remember what the punch is called, but those two go together. The first card that I've made looks like this. So I have stamped my flowers onto white card with black ink, coloured them in with some Stampin' blends, and then I've used some of the nice Pattern Party Designer Series paper and those gorgeous new tag dies. Okay, and this one I've stuck with the same Designer Series paper, but I've used more of it, and rather than stamping onto white card, I've stamped onto coloured card here with the matching ink, and I've added my ribbon just to the top of that tag. So that's me finished. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined me today. It's been lovely to spend a little bit of Monday with you. If you've got any questions about any of the products or techniques I've used, please do get in touch. These products are now available to purchase from my online store, which you can find the link at the top of the page. If you are going to place an order online, please make sure you enter the host code. It will mean you get a free gift from me next month. And don't forget, we've got that joining promotion at the moment where you can choose £154 worth of product and pay just £99, which is incredible. So that's it from me. I'll be live again on Wednesday evening at 8:30, but you may join me at some point this week for an impromptu unboxing of my first order from the new catalogue, and there's a lot in it. So have a great day, and I hope to speak to you all very, very soon. Thanks so much. Bye for now.